King Charles has voiced his deep and ongoing frustration with the world's lack of meaningful action on environmental protection in his latest film. The new Amazon Prime Video documentary, Finding Harmony: A King's Vision, captures the monarch's candid reflections on decades of stalled progress. He speaks openly about how planetary safeguards are rapidly going backwards. This honest admission comes amid growing global climate emergencies. The 90-minute production premiered at Windsor Castle on January 28, 2026. It will stream worldwide from February 6, 2026, reaching millions instantly. Narrated by Academy Award winner Kate Winslet, the film feels profoundly personal. Winslet praises the King's great vision and foresight during the premiere event. She describes the project as one that has been a lifetime in the making. Her warm introduction set the tone for an evening of inspiration and reflection. King Charles appears reflective and occasionally somber throughout the documentary. He expresses concern that time is running out for decisive global intervention. "I worry that we are rapidly going backwards on protecting the planet," he says. He adds a poignant note about hoping for change before I shuffle off this mortal coil. These words reveal a sense of urgency mixed with quiet personal mortality. At 77 years old, the King remains passionately committed to his lifelong cause. He refuses to accept complacency despite years of limited tangible results. His frustration stems from witnessing repeated warnings go largely unheeded. From the 1970s onward, he has spoken about pollution, waste, and resource depletion. Many of those early speeches now read as eerily prophetic in today's context. Yet he laments that awareness has not yet translated into sufficient action. The documentary traces his environmental journey across more than 5 decades. It opens with rare archive footage of a young prince addressing serious threats. In 1970, he warned about the dangers of unchecked industrial pollution. He highlighted threats to wildlife, forests, rivers, and the broader ecosystem. Those messages were often met with skepticism or outright dismissal at the time. Critics labeled him eccentric, alarmist, or even dangerously meddlesome. One infamous moment involves his 1986 remark about talking to plants. The King admits in the film that the comment has haunted him ever since. Despite the ridicule, he chose to stay true to his convictions unwaveringly. "I wasn't going to be diverted," he states with quiet but firm resolve. This steadfastness forms the emotional core of the entire production. The film avoids sensationalism and focuses instead on philosophy and practice. It draws heavily from his 2010 book, Harmony: A New Way of Looking at Our World. The central idea promotes viewing humanity as part of nature, not separate. King Charles argues that true progress requires restoring this fundamental balance. He believes disconnection from the natural world fuels destructive behaviors. The documentary illustrates this through stunning visuals and real-world examples. Filming took place over 7 intensive months during 2025 across 4 continents. Locations include his private estate at Highgrove House in Gloucestershire. Dumfries House in Scotland showcases sustainable community and education initiatives. Further segments explore regenerative projects in Guyana's rainforests. Sustainable farming and water management efforts in India are also featured prominently. Contributors such as former U.S. Vice President Al Gore add expert perspective. Gore reflects on shared frustrations with slow international climate responses. The narrative weaves personal family moments with broader global concerns. Archive clips show a young Prince William lying on grass beside his father. Another features Prince William in adulthood discussing organic farming techniques. A brief but touching cameo includes young Prince Harry learning to fly fish. The Balmoral scene captures father-son bonding amid Scotland's natural beauty. These glimpses humanize the king beyond his public environmental advocacy role. They subtly remind viewers of generational continuity in stewardship values. The premiere itself marked a historic milestone for the royal family. Windsor Castle's Waterloo Chamber was transformed into a grand temporary cinema. A-list celebrities gathered to support the film's important message. Kate Winslet led the introductions with heartfelt admiration and warmth. Dame Judi Dench, Stanley Tucci, Sir Rod Stewart, and Benedict Cumberbatch attended. Sir Kenneth Branagh, Fern Cotton, and Jules Holland added further star power. Queen Camilla hosted alongside her husband with characteristic grace and poise. Royal relatives including Sophie, Duchess of Edinburgh, assisted in the reception. The Duke and Duchess of Gloucester also welcomed guests in the grand reception room. Conversations after the screening focused on urgency and collective responsibility. King Charles' frustration is not directed at individuals but at systemic inertia. He points to political short-termism and corporate resistance as major barriers. He notes that vested interests often delay necessary transitions toward sustainability. Despite setbacks, he highlights pockets of genuine progress and innovation. Organic agriculture, regenerative farming, and circular economy models offer hope. He praises indigenous knowledge systems that have long practiced harmony principles. These examples demonstrate that solutions exist if implemented at scale urgently. The king urges viewers to adopt personal and community-level changes immediately. He believes small actions, when multiplied globally, create transformative impact. The film's release timing aligns with escalating climate-related disasters worldwide. Extreme weather events, biodiversity loss, and rising sea levels dominate headlines. Scientific reports warn of tipping points that could render recovery impossible. King Charles has long aligned his advocacy with leading scientific consensus. His early warnings on plastic pollution and deforestation now seem prescient. Critics who once mocked his views increasingly acknowledge his foresight today. The documentary subtly contrasts past ridicule with present-day validation. It shows how persistence can shift public and policy understanding over time. Amazon's global platform ensures the message reaches diverse audiences everywhere. Available in over 240 countries and territories, it transcends traditional barriers. Streaming accessibility allows families, schools, and communities to engage easily. The production partners with the King's Foundation to amplify real-world impact. Initiatives supported by the Foundation demonstrate harmony in tangible practice. Education programs train young people in sustainable skills and leadership. Community regeneration projects create jobs while protecting local environments. These efforts embody the King's belief in practical, people-centered solutions. In candid moments, the monarch contemplates his own legacy with humility. He wonders whether his voice has contributed enough to avert catastrophe. Yet he remains optimistic that growing awareness will eventually drive change. He hopes the film inspires viewers to demand bolder action from leaders. Harmony is not a luxury, it is a necessity for our survival, he implies. The narrative calls for reimagining economics, agriculture, and urban planning. It advocates integrating beauty, tradition, and ecology into modern development. King Charles draws from diverse sources including philosophy, religion, and science. This holistic approach distinguishes his environmentalism from purely technical views. Celebrity attendees at the premiere echoed the film's sense of urgency. Kate Winslet emphasized how the king pioneered green advocacy against opposition. Dame Judi Dench expressed admiration for his lifelong unwavering commitment. Stanley Tucci and Kenneth Branagh engaged in thoughtful post-screening discussions. Sir Rod Stewart brought musical energy to the historic castle gathering. The event blended Hollywood glamour with centuries-old royal tradition seamlessly. It demonstrated the power of cultural platforms to advance serious causes. As the documentary streams globally, its message arrives at a critical juncture. World leaders prepare for upcoming climate summits amid mounting pressure. Public opinion increasingly demands accountability and accelerated transitions. King Charles' frustration resonates because it mirrors widespread public sentiment. Many share his disappointment with incremental progress amid existential threats. His refusal to be silenced offers a model of principled persistence. By sharing his concerns openly, he invites dialogue rather than despair. Ultimately, Finding Harmony, A King's Vision serves as both memoir and manifesto. It chronicles one month's dedication while challenging society at large. The king's continued frustration underscores the scale of the challenge ahead. Yet it also carries hope that collective awakening remains possible still. Through personal reflection, global examples, and urgent appeals, it motivates. Viewers are encouraged to embrace harmony in daily choices and advocacy. King Charles' voice, tempered by experience, continues to call for action. His film stands as a powerful reminder that time for meaningful change is limited. In expressing frustration honestly, he fuels the very momentum he seeks. The world watches, listens, and perhaps finally begins to respond decisively.